What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Weekly Indie Newcomer, the weekend series where we take a look at an indie game that's been bouncing around my brain over the course of the last week or so. My name is Splattercat, and as always, I'm very, very happy to have you here today as we check out Ananias Fellowship Edition, or Ananias Roguelike. It recently came out on Steam, and you guys know that I am a giant, wet, sloppy sucker. Like, I leave messes in every chair that I sit in for roguelikes. I sincerely enjoy them. And so anyways, this game is a fairly bog-standard roguelike, but I figured we'd hang out for a little bit, and I'd give you some of my impressions of the game. We'll play it for a little while and make you aware of it. I do pride myself on kind of playing smaller games for this series when I can. And so this was the one that I've been playing over the last couple days in my twilight hours. Let's jump straight on in. So in Ananias Roguelike, we're going to start a new game here. We got to pick our character. It's a little bit like Gauntlet in that regard, where there's a number of characters that all do different things in different ways, and most of them are viable in their own way. You also pick a pet to come along with you. Your pet will transform eventually as it levels up. But for right now, we've got the Alchemist. The Alchemist starts with a kind of like an alchemy shotgun thing, and then also is one of the only characters that can mix reagents into potions without having to blow himself up, potentially. There's the Arcane Master. Arcane Master uses staves and wands. They actually last a lot longer. In addition, as you get to higher level spells, they have a chance of injuring you and whatnot when you cast them, so he can cast those free of charge once he gets there. We have the Paladin, pretty much what you would expect, except for the fact that heavy weapons, heavy armor, heavy life, and all that, but their stuff does not break down as quickly as it does for all other classes, so when you get hit, durability is reduced from your gear. With Paladins, they apparently oil it or take better care of it or give it special hugs of lasting +5 or something rather. Either way, the lawful goodness appears to be working because it makes their stuff last longer. We've got the Hunter, basically has infallible ranged accuracy, pretty cool. Can also train monsters in the dungeon. There's the Monster Slayer. Parries attacks on occasion, slashes through enemies, jumps into enemies while running, and is extra accurate when throwing items. I've actually never played the Monster Slayer, so that may be the one that we give a go today. The Barbarian, my personal favorite, charges against enemies while running, gains strength when low on health, and then you also get health back by killing fools, by murking fools, you get HP back. There's the Iloris Monk, who has a flying kick. Unarmed attacks grow stronger as they level, immune to poison and spells. Can cast elemental spells on the Dumaril Sage. Can cast elemental spells several times and unleash their full power. Can cast high-level spells safely, just like the wizard can. And then there's the shepherd, who can tend herds of sheep. Does not stand a chance of surviving in this dungeon. Some interesting stuff there. I'm probably going to go with the Monster Slayer. I've never played the Monster Slayer before, and on one side, it's a little bit, there's a completely different facet of the gameplay here if you go with a mage. Because a lot of the characters are illiterate, which means when they get down into the dungeon, they can't read scrolls or books or anything like that to learn magic. So basically, they just melee everything to death and throw items. When you play an arcane character, it gets a little bit more interesting because a lot of the consumables become a lot more valuable to you. But in this case, actually, let's do it's either a Paladin or a Monster Slayer. I'm going to do the Monster Slayer because the Monster Slayer throws stuff. It is important to note, if it matters, that there's a male and female variation of every single character that has been carefully laid out in pixels. Some people will care about that feature more than others. I actually tend to like that too because I like alternating. I just go back and forth. Male character, female character, whatever. It makes them look a little bit different, and it makes it play a little bit different. At least it feels a little bit different to me just because I've swapped up. Maybe if I'm playing the same character 3 or 4 times in a row, you sex swap them real fast. And for some reason, it feels fresh. So, we got to pick our pet now. We got the Direwolf. Transforms into nerve-breaking creatures. Resilient and loyal. Agile and unpredictable. Powerful, nimble creatures. The Pony will allow me to carry 4 more items. The Giant Frog is actually my favorite so far because he's ranged. The only downside to the Giant Frog is that sometimes he rushes the enemy, and because he's very, very fragile, he gets killed when he does that. You can also play with no pet if you really, really want to. I'm going to go with the Doggo. Sounds good to me. We've got to name our character. His name is going to be Bigger Bag, even though I didn't take the pony. We'll make him a little bit darker, making sure we got a little bit of sunlight in there. We'll give him, I don't know. That looks like more of a reddish brown. Let's go with black hair. We're going to pick a hairstyle here. I don't know if I'm down with the Como. The Mohawk's pretty dope, though. There it is right there. That's what we want. And then we got to find, facial hair that make us feel good. We got, a Jason Momoa thing going on right now. That works for me. So now we got to apply our 3 bonus points. We can put them into combat, we can put them into magic, we can put them into really whatever we want. Get a bunch of HP, a bunch of MP. So apparently this character is capable of casting magic, which is kind of interesting because he starts with MP. Some characters just flat out start with like 0. We can also take evasion rate, which is actually pretty good. I'm going to go 3 combat, 2 magic, and 8 extra HP. And so the point of being down in this dungeon is that we're trying to save a place called Concordia by finding the Ring of Ananias, which is rumored to be sealed in his tomb. It's down in the dungeon somewhere, but we'll find it. You can log into stuff, so we are Bigger Bag, the Monster Slayer level 1. We parry with our weapon, slash through enemies. We can assault enemies. I figured we'd be assaulting enemies. We are stealthy, and our aggressive tactics are outstanding. Very cool. You have read 0 scrolls. You have used no spells. Doesn't matter. There's our character right there. Let's see what kind of equipment we started out with. Oh, we started with like an ice spell. So we've got Jan Spack, which shoots a bolt of ice, which does 9d3 damage, but might backfire when we try to cast it. So interesting stuff there. We started with 2 Band-Aids, which heal 10d3. We started with a plain scroll of Cam Melon, which makes a monster follow your commands. We started with a steel dagger, multiple steel daggers. These are actually thrown weapons that you can throw right over here. If you take a look right there, you can swap your thrown weapon or you can throw things. That's kind of one of the mechanics the game puts at the forefront of your gameplay, is that you're going to be throwing a lot of stuff. Throwing is actually a big part of this game. If your character is not very good at throwing, then not going to work out. You can click where you want to go, or you can play with the numpad. You can play it classic with the numpad, or you can click. It just depends what you're into. Ooh, first floor. Straight nasty style. Ooh. Got all kinds of nasty healing going on. Now we can attack enemies simply by clicking them. She's knocking arrows over there and shooting at my dog. I have very few rules in my life. Like, I really am kind of a chaotic neutral type individual. But if you shoot my dog, I really feel like we're going to fight. I don't want to sound violent or anything like that, but you hit my dog and it's just like, welp, it's on. I learned that when I went to the dog park. Oh, our dog already got rolled out on. We got a really difficult first room, though. This game is absolutely a roguelike. Don't forget, it's a roguelike, and this room could be more challenging on certain playthroughs than others. So yeah, we got our ass kicked right there. What I need to do is I need to heal my dog. So we'll use a Band-Aid, and there we go. Our dog gets 24 HP back. He's in better shape. Sounds good to me. You click on the arrows to go in between rooms. So it's very much kind of got another green leather tunic right there. I don't know what stealthy means. I assume it means we can creep up on fools. The game does have a lot of attention to detail. Like, you can click on any one of these things that, like, adorns a room. Any of the little, I don't even know what to call them, like, any of the little knickknacks, essentially. They're inside of the rooms, and they'll have little descriptions you can read. Our map is right here. You don't get XP in this game. You actually level up when you get to the portal. So the point of every single level is to find a rune. It's called a rune of unlocking or something like that, and then make it to the portal. And then once you do that, you will level up and go down to the next level where things will get a little bit more challenging. You see the faint spirit of a feline creature wielding a staff topped by a crescent-shaped gem. It has been staring at you since the moment you entered the room. Hail, traveler! I am known as Adam Ring. I am the last guardian of the tombs. Since millennia, it has been my ancestors' duty to keep the safety of the ancient relics of Ananias. The world is in peril now. The destruction of Cremora has been unleashed, and nothing can stand in its path. Will you be brave and powerful enough to retrieve the Ring of Ananias? I will not stand in your way. But I must warn you, you will face perils like nothing you have seen in your life. Hope we can meet later, if you manage to survive. Gradually, the Spectre disappears until you cannot see him anymore. Goodbye, Spectre. I will see you later. Inside this room, we've got another Band-Aid, which is pretty sweet. I'm going to pick up the... You shot my dog, you son of a bitch. It's too far to throw. Is it close enough right there? Ooh, I parried an arrow out of the air because I'm a boss like that. What a tycoon. That guy was just like, yep, I don't mess around with that. Throw some shit at me and get rolled out on. So I'm wielding the knife right now. Let's say that I wanted to... So I swap into there. There's nothing to throw my knife at. And there was nothing inside this room either aside from a Band-Aid. I don't know if it was worth it. I guess we came out net positive on health, so it was probably worth it by comparison, but... Nothing inside that room. One thing I do think is lacking about this game is like secret doors and walls. It'd be really cool if things on the walls, because there's so much attention to detail already, it'd be cool if there was like little alcoves and things on walls you could click and there'd be like treasure, or maybe monsters would pop out of them and stuff like that. Basically, like add a little bit of hunt and click to the game. Seems cool to me. There's arsenic on the ground. This base element of darkness can be mixed with an essence to create a potion. There's also a mime mask, which confuses enemies. There's a plain scroll of Grav Bomb, Creates an explosion of gravity. Dude, that sounds live as hell. We need to do that. I'm going to put on the mask, and as you can see, this game does scratch one of my itches. As you equip gear, it goes on your character. I like that a lot. That's a major feature for me. I hate it when I play RPGs where the gear does not get added to your character on like a ragdoll or whatever. It just makes me sad. Like hell you did. Oh, he paralyzed me? No! I've been paralyzed. Alright, so we're going to stab that dude in the eye because that's a super efficient tactic. Eye stabbing. Oh, I've been paralyzed again. Jesus. Soaking hits like crazy right now. No, no more paralysis. The paralysis spam is unreal right now. I'm going to stab you both to death, and it's going to be very, very unpleasant. Oh. I would add, so for some of the effects like the enemies have, I would add diminishing returns on those. Although it looked like that time it lasted a lot less time, so I don't know. I have no clue what I'm talking about right now. I've played this game some, but not a ton. So we've got a Steel Slayer's Plate. Okay. Can I... It confuses enemies. You remove the Mind Mask. I don't know if it's actually being serious about that. Like if it casts a Confuse spell or anything like that. That'd be super sweet to have. Where's my dog at? Dog's right here. I'm going to blow more scrolls on the dog. Or I'm sorry, more... Well, they're kind of scrolls. I mean, they're scrolls of... They're scrolls of cloth that help you stop bleeding, I guess. They're sort of magical if you want to, like... think about it that way, I suppose. I key opens up our inventory as it does in every video game ever. Enemy archer right here. Ah, blocked. That's the only other downside too, is I would recommend they make it so you can actually cast through your pet. You can't tell your pet to be defensive or offensive and to stand back or go forward, but at the same time, it'd be nice to be able to throw knives over your dog's head and stuff like that. Maybe with like a small chance to hit him or something like that. I don't know. It happens a lot. Like, I've played the game a bit at this point, and I always get into these situations where I want to throw a knife, but my pet is in the way. I'll put him on defensive and see if that helps out for a little bit, though. Let's go in through here. As you can see, navigation is actually pretty swift because you can just click on the arrow and it automatically takes you to the next room in that direction. We made it out of here. Level complete. We killed 100% of the monsters. The Caverns of Chaos are done. We can choose now to pray to a heavenly patron. Increases our strength, so that's Colby, allows us to carry more items, extends your magic points so we can cast more spells. There's Valnir, who makes us better in combat so that we swing a sword a little bit better, or we can learn a spell if your character is magically inclined. Now, for the Barbarian and some of the other characters, these will not be here. You will just have to choose between a patron, and so in some ways, it's kind of the simple way of playing the game. I'm going to go with Valnir because our combat feels weak right now. And so we got 3 extra HP. You heal up at the end of the level. If I had known that, I probably wouldn't use the Band-Aids, but, you know, whatever. We stabbed that dude in his head. That was pretty dope. We stabbed that dude in his head, too. Apparently, we are just in the market to stab faces right now. When it comes to potion stuffs, Herbalaria and Arsenic became holy water. So what does holy water do for me? Where is the holy water at? Cleanses the souls of undead and evil. Explodes when thrown, causing massive damage. Ooh, okay. That sounds good. Yeah, I can definitely live with that. We've got Grav Bomb. We've got Antimony or Antimony. I don't really know how to pronounce that word. Oh, we've got a shield, too. I should probably use that. I don't know how good we are with shields, but a purple whip. Oh, yes. Whip it, baby. Just whip it right. So whip it, baby. Whip it on. Whip it, baby. So it's 3d3 versus 4d2. So you're talking, so that's 3d3. That's going to be 3 to 9 damage. That's going to be 2 to 8 damage. So actually what we have going on is better. No, 4 to 8 damage. 4 to 8 damage. I'm bad at math. Yeah, sure. We'll go with a map for right now. We'll get our Belmont on. That sounds pretty cool. Hopefully this guy is not so... He said, oi, oi. Hopefully this guy is not super proficient at... Is he fighting something invisible? I'm going to throw a knife at him. There might have been an invisible enemy in this room, though. I don't know. There are invisible enemies in this game where you won't be able to see them, but you'll be like in combat mode where you can only take one turn at a time, and then they'll hit you, and it's just like, here, throw that at him. Yep, soften him up. There you go. Throw lots of knives at people. Our character does get bonuses to accuracy with knives, so it seems to me as though it's probably a pretty sweet, like, We're probably adhering to our strengths right now by hucking knives at fools, because why not? 3 damage taken right there. I'm not going to panic too much about the damage because I have access to band-aids now, although I'm not going to use it on my dog. Since we're down to like our final healing item, I'm going to let the dog run away, throw a knife at him, see if we can get him out of the way. Our dog has stayed with us, actually, which is pretty sweet. There's black leather gloves over here, too. Am I even wearing gloves? What do I have going on? So I got leather boots. I got black leather gloves. Those ones are in good shape. I'll wait till the ones that I have break, and then I'll put on the other ones. I'll keep these in reserve for right now. Too far to throw a knife at this douche. All right. Killed him with 1 hit. He's all taken care of. There's the rune of passage. I'm going to check the rest of the place out just to make sure that... Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't want to be hit by that. Oh, they do follow you. Okay, throw a knife at them. Well, there you go. Trap them on the edge of the zone so they can't fire arrows at me. And now that we've killed both of them, we got this guy with the club in here. We'll throw a knife at him, although it wasn't very effective. And then we'll also throw that at him. Maybe that'll knock him out before he gets to us. We've got a dim scroll of Ran Mox Sly. Fully restores the integrity of swords, spears, and axes. That's actually not terrible. If we find an item that's busted but does amazing damage, we would be able to put that to good use, and it might get us into something that... Who are you? Are you a good guy or a bad guy? A good guy, it looks like. You see a warrior in light leather armor wearing a crossbow. Greetings, my name is Glenn Wickman. I came here to find the Ring of Ananias and avenge the destruction of my city. We need to work together to survive. May your sword be strong, and you can stand against evil creatures that dwell here. He disappeared. Oh, we've got an Anlore scroll that will blind somebody. Okay, I'm going to start using these items in just a minute because some of them are really, really good. It looks like there's one location I haven't been to. Not worth it. Yeah, there's a necromancer down there, and I'd just rather not deal with it right now. It's like I could, but why stress myself in the pursuit of goodness, you know? If we can do this a simple way versus doing this a hard way, let's just do it the simple way. I'm going to throw that at you. You better get away from me. There's also a ghost trying to run up in here like he's a badass. Yeah, throw it at him, please. Oh, I missed. That doesn't happen very often. Yeah, you better keep healing. That's right. I've got the purple whip of Hot Topic Ghost Slaying. You don't even want to fight me like that. Leave my pet behind? Well, here. Pet, what are you doing? Come here. There we go. I got to bring him to the portal with me. And I think he gets healed up when we go to the next floor. We killed... Well, they explored 100%. You know, we didn't kill 100%, but we can go with Hadria, who allows us to withstand more damage. Strauss, or we can go with Colby. I am going to go with... Let's go with Strauss. Just to mix it up a little. We get 18 MP from that? Not bad at all. Wow. I will 100% take that. I need to throw a dagger at you. There. If I can kill the thing that casts paralysis all the time, we'd be in much better shape. Yeah, sure. So we casted Jan Spack at somebody. I'm just going to keep casting. Like I'm sure it might backfire. No, doggy, why? Why? You were so beautiful and so young. So beautiful, so young, and so new to this world. Doggy, why? Our character does actually seem to be a pretty good all-arounder. My guess is that this character is meant to be the spell sword for characters that want to cast while at the same time playing melee and running around. It takes a little bit of work to get him to the point you want him to be in orders of proficiency, but it's not that bad. Oh my god, the amount of skeletons being spammed right now. Oh, he exposed himself. Okay. Let's beat this wizard down. This is a necromancer. We've got these dancing skeletons over here that look like they're straight out of the crypt of the Necro Dancer. I like how when they die, they leave bones all over the ground. That's actually a nice little feature. And something that I think a lot of people wouldn't notice at one pass, but oh, he's been disarmed. That's fine. I don't need a weapon to be dangerous. Yep, I got magic, son. Shooting the ice bolts at you like I'm a level 1 mage in World of Warcraft. Yup. Isn't that what they started with, Frostbolt? I think they did. I think they started with either Frostbolt. I don't think they started with Fireball. I think Fireball was late. It's been a long time since Vanilla WoW, though. It's been a long, long time since Vanilla WoW for me. It's amazing how much more resilient than our dog we are. We are way better at fighting than our dog was. Then again, he's like fleshy and furry, whereas we have plate mail. Alright, so you've been vanquished. They also leave blood spatters and things like that on the ground. I'm going to throw the knife at him, just to soften him up with some damage in the front. Pick that up, and then throw it at the orc, who's probably taking some damage at this point. There's a statue of the servant, but I'm not connected to the game servers right now because I don't like to connect to servers. Looks like there's a banana on that shelf, just in case you're in the mood for a nana right now. Sometimes you gotta get your potassium in. Did you just spend an entire turn hissing at me? That does not seem like an efficient use of your time. Wait, there was something over here? Oh, there's combat gauntlets, and they have 2 defense. Ooh. Mine only have 1 defense. I'll take combat gauntlets. Yes, I will. And then our inventory is completely and totally full right now, so I'm going to use that to heal myself. It was a little over the top. Wait, what was that right there? There's a thing laying on the ground. What is that? Borax. The essence of borax, said to be a gift of the gods, has been ground up and mixed into a poison or a potion. Yeah, mix it with antimony. You create a borax potion. What does a borax potion do? A methyl potion. It gives you all of your magic power back. Yeah, take that right now. And then a borax potion. You are invisible for 25 turns. Ooh, nice. Yes, I will definitely utilize that. But as I said, this title, it's not much. It doesn't do a whole lot to stand out from, every roguelike ever made. But at the same time, if you're tired of, like, Tome, or you're tired of, like, Cataclysm DDA, or you're tired of, the other offerings, this is a very, very light-hearted roguelike game that, honestly, it doesn't take a whole lot of brain power to play, but at the same time, there are enough options there to keep someone like me interested, where there's different characters that have different tactics and different ways they play the game. I do like that about it. I think that the pixel art representation I'm absolutely in love with. It definitely reminds me of some of the older Sega Genesis games, back when 16-bit first started being a thing, and this was the kind of game that I would have just played the hell out of when I was a kid. Like, in all honesty, I really, really, really liked games like this on the Apple IIe and on the Sega Genesis, and so the fact that the game is simplistic in both its representation and in terms of just the gameplay content there, I don't mean that to be an insult. I think it actually works well for me, because sometimes I don't want to play Cataclysm DDA. Or sometimes I don't want to play Caves of Cud, because the level of complication that goes into that, it's like 2 in the morning, I'm sleepy, I'm just like, takes too much brain power right now. It doesn't take a lot, but it takes some, and that's more than I have at the moment. Whereas a game like this is a very light roguelike that I think you can get into, play for 10, 15, 20 minutes, die, not really care that much. And there's still a little bit of depth, and there's still like some customization here that you can do with your characters. And so I liked it, and I figured I'd show it off to you. If you wanted to get Ananias Roguelike, I have the description down below. It'll be a Steam download down there. Aside from that, if you like what I do every single week, checking out these games, consider supporting me on the Patreon. I will see you all later. Thank you for stopping on by. How you do, everybody? I'll see you next week.